Modern relationships are at a very important crossroad. On the one hand, modern relationships are adapting to the social media climate, to the social media hype, to the degeneracy that has been consuming society. On the one hand, many relationships are still trying to stay traditional and moral in their approach. But how do we address the insecurities that stem from this adaptation of modern relationships? How do we address insecurities caused by social media, peer pressure, and modern society in general? If you are in a healthy and loving relationship, how can you protect your relationship from the degeneracy stemming from social media? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Goals and Growth. My name is Estienne and I help people become the best versions of themselves. So if you're interested in attaining your highest level, well, first of all, go and download my free ebook in the description and also subscribe to Goals and Growth for more content like this. Let's get the ball rolling. Addressing insecurity in a relationship is a very hard hill to climb. Insecurities are bound to happen, whether you are in a relationship that is 1 month old or whether you're in a relationship that is 10 years old. There are always going to be insecurities. There are always going to be something of the other person that is bothering you. But how exactly do we address these insecurities? First of all, we have to look at our social media use. Social media has been good and it's been bad at the same time. On the one end of the spectrum, it has allowed us improved communication. It has allowed us to keep in touch with our friends and family. It has allowed us to think creatively and to create content that is valuable to audiences. But on the other hand, it has also assisted in spreading degeneracy, right? We are seeing more and more OnlyFans pages being advertised on Instagram, for example. The moment you open your Instagram feed these days, it's an OnlyFans advertisement. How is this particularly affecting modern relationships? Well, it is causing major insecurities and major issues because there's always that level of trust that you need to maintain in a relationship. And with these types of people going around on social media and this type of content going around on social media, it's become very hard to trust someone truly. That is why we need to monitor our social media use in any relationship that we have these days. Some people are lucky enough to find someone who's not that big on social media. But if you date, for example, an influencer, she or he is always going to be exposed to thousands and thousands of other people, to thousands and thousands of positive and negative degenerate comments. So limit the way you interact with social media and do not let it infiltrate your love life. Do not allow it to affect the core values of your relationship. It's one thing to go through someone's social media profile or to have someone's social media password. That points to a bit of insecurity. But at the same time, people must understand that in this day and age, you can't be too careful. In this day and age, we have predators left, right, and center on social media. So we need to be very wary about who our partner interacts with. Our partner needs to be wary of who he or she interacts with, and vice versa. It is all about maintaining a balance. It is all about maintaining that level of trust. It is all about being open about your social media use. If you receive a derogative message or a comment, it is best to show your partner that particular message so that he or she knows you are being open with her. And that issue then needs to be discussed and addressed accordingly. Insecurities are an inevitable part of any relationship, and besides social media, the whole relationship dynamic has changed. The whole gender dynamic has changed. Whereas in the past you had men being the providers and women staying at home, cooking, looking after the children, it has changed into both parties working and earning an approximately equally important salary. And that has led to not only the empowerment of women, but many women pursuing their careers instead of pursuing relationships, instead of pursuing families. They decided to focus on their careers. This has caused a lot of insecurity, especially amongst the average Joe. He feels like he needs to be the best of the best to get seen. He feels like he needs to do better every single day, which he should, by the way. But he is not yet top of that 1% part of men. And he probably never will be. Yet many modern women, because of this increased focus on their career, think that most men have to hustle equally as hard, if not harder. Most men have to earn more than them. Most men have to be more successful than them, which is a very, very hard thing to do in many cases. So it has created this uneven power balance that has shifted from men in the past to women now almost having the upper hand.
Lord, have mercy.
Think about it. If you are a semi-decent looking female and you create a social media profile, it is much easier for you to get attention than it is for the average man.
Gotta know exactly who you are. Lord, have mercy.
That is just how society is wired, just how society works. Biologically, men will always be programmed to be the pursuers, whereas women will always be programmed to, how can I say this, receive attention. And it has caused a lot of insecurities in relationships because men feel like no matter what they do, they can't satisfy their woman, can't give her all the attention all of the time because they have to work their butts off in order to become better versions of themselves. And not only has this power dynamic really created a lot of insecurities, it has also led men to feel more lonely. Many men feel lonely in their relationships. Many men feel like they've entered the incorrect relationship and they feel like they're doing everything they can to improve, yet it is still not good enough for her. It's the shifting gender dynamic and the shifting work environment has caused a lot of problems. A lot of people feel very alone in their relationships. A lot of people feel like their partners pick their work over them. A lot of their partners then resort to cheating, not being loyal, and that has led to the further degradation of modern relationships. But how do we fix this? What can we do as the average Joe, as the average man, as the average girl, to protect our healthy relationship? Well, first of all, it's all about being trustworthy. It's all about showing loyalty when it matters most. Showing loyalty, in fact, all of the time towards your partner. If you cannot be loyal, which is the number one building block in any healthy relationship, there is no relationship to be had. Move on. If you are in a healthy relationship, cherish it with everything that you have. Make sure that you give your partner the attention he or she needs. Make sure that your partner knows that he or she can be open and honest with you. Make sure that you don't always put your work above your partner, because a relationship, just like any other business, requires investment of time and effort in order to work. Despite all of the degeneracy going around on social media and in modern society in general, I do believe that we can still uphold traditional moral relationships. We can still uphold traditional gender roles and everyone can still be happy in their relationship. There's no need, ladies, to outperform a man all the time. Do the best that you can do, and any decent man will see that. Vice versa as well. Men, do the best you can do, because any decent woman would appreciate that. Any decent woman would appreciate the effort that you put in, regardless of what that effort is. If you give your 100% and your 100% is a bunch of roses, she will appreciate that if she's the right one for you. There's not a woman out there that will, well, let me rephrase. There's not a decent woman out there that won't appreciate it if you give your 100%. If she knows you're trying your best, if she knows you're really putting your all into something, she's going to automatically have respect for you. Yes, there are always going to be people who are more successful than you. Ladies, there are always going to be people who are more beautiful than you. It is simply how the world turns. But at the same time, if you are looking for someone decent, make sure that you are a decent person. Make sure that you are honest. Make sure that you are loyal. Make sure that you do the best you can be to be the best you. Because the right person will come along and they will appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure that you are subscribed, and if not, you are missing out on dope content like this. Turn on the post notifications bell to stay up to date, and I'll see you next time.